night.
Please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Apparently we have a very slow clock up there. I know, it's 10 to 7.
I think it's right twice a day.
Yeah. Welcome to the village board meeting of April 8th, 2024. Roll call, please. Kraus?
Here.
Gardner?
Here.
Stacy?
Here.
Terry?
Here.
Giannetti?
Here.
In your packet, you have the minutes from your last meeting. Does anyone have any changes or additions? If not, can we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call. Kraus?
Yes.
Gardner?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Giannetti?
Yes.
Does anyone from the audience wish to address the board?
You, Joel?
Yeah, we're here on behalf of the Lions Club, and last year we did a car show and a burnout event down Gould Street, and we're just coming back to the board this year to ask to see if you guys would be willing to let us do that again. We realize the street is going to be paved this year, hopefully within the next few weeks, and I had passed out a couple of documents to Marcy regarding how we would set it up differently this year. Last year after the event, we had spent, on July 23rd of last year, Artie and I and Chief Terry met for about an hour and talked about things at the event that he would like to see that were done differently, things that maybe make the event more safer, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And I've included that along with that packet that I gave Marcy. There's two of them that she can pass around. And we're willing to take care of all the information that we discussed regarding that. And the other option, the other idea that we have to thing we need to get done is we got to make sure we have a waiver for anybody that participates. So we took everything that Chief said to heart, try to give you guys a better idea of what we want to do this year. We have way more time. We're looking to do this in August 24th. There's a couple of ideas. One of them is to do the burnout event and the car show at the same time. The Ammets has indicated they'd like to be part of this now. So we would probably ask to have Gould Street blocked from basically Hodges all the way to Indiana Avenue. Then we would do the car show in front of the Amet Hall, basically from Penfield Street south, and the burnout event would be north. So they would clearly be separated where there wouldn't be any issues along the way. Then the other option was, Artie will talk about, is we maybe prior to the event, make it a kind of a military type of salute, and Artie, you can discuss that.
Yeah, we thought about calling it kind of like an All-American Day. Beecher's All-American Day. So prior to the car show burnout deal, starting about 1 o'clock, we had some good, nice ideas, and this would kind of tie into the Ambets. I got our old friend, you remember Mike Stanula, he's part of the bagpipers. We get the bagpipers to come down the street. It'd sort of be like a mini parade. I want to get the cavalry to come, horses come down the road in full uniform. We would do a 21 gun salute. Have a flag raising ceremony, try to get some retired Marines to come. Have a real, nostalgic, or real solemn, like respectful, hour there where all these things would happen. There's a group in Wisconsin of retired military vehicles. They have the Army tanks that can come down the street, the rubber wheels, of course, Jeeps, retired stuff that would really make it an impressive, like military deal. I'd like to get a band, if Beecher's band would come and play the national anthem, or another band, or any band for that matter, and have a real nice deal there. That would start around 1 o'clock in the afternoon and go for an hour and a half or so, and then we would go into our, other event. And I've got possibility of getting some SEALs to come as well, and possibly a Congressional Medal of Honor winner. I know some of these folks, and they can do some pretty cool stuff when they come. So I won't get into all that at this time, but that would be really neat. So that was kind of our idea. Beecher's All-American Day, and we need that street to do it. I talked to Chief Terry, and he's kind of behind it. I'll let him say his piece, but it sounds to me like they're on board with it. It would be cleaner down there, it's gonna be nice. I know some concerns of a couple of guys last year was how the clutter was on the road, stones and all that, well, that won't be the case. When we got a street sweeper there and cleaned it up pretty good, but went off without a hitch. If there was some concern maybe about the stripe getting, discolored, we would pay for that, you know, paint, just take care of that. But aside from that, I would get, anybody that wants to do the burnout participation, we'd have it registered prior, months in advance, sign up sheet, hey, you're 3 o'clock time slot, you're 3:05, you're 3:10, and kind of do it that way so it's regimented,
Yeah,
I guess would be.
along with the waiver. So anyway,
And the waiver, yeah.
just wanted to bring it up before the board, to let you guys know that's what we're planning. Obviously, you guys have the final decision on whether or not that's something you want done again this year. I don't know how many of you were attended it last year or not, but anyway, thanks. We're here for questions if anybody has any questions.
I mean, is Chief and Matt, are you guys okay with this? I mean, any
Well,
issues that, I'm not
last
gonna
year-
lie and say I remember exactly what happened last year, I read the packet.
Last year we had some concerns. Bob and I volunteered to go there because we did it on our own time so that they could make more money. It's a moneymaker for you guys, right?
Yeah,
It's
the Lions
also
tried to
for
make
Lions,
it.
so, but we knew, it was apparent right away that we needed more people to help, because there's a lot of people coming crossing the motorcycles, they're doing their thing in the middle of the road. So we have to have more Lions people there to help with traffic control, people crossing the street. So Bob and I, it's just Bob and I, just not enough. And one of the biggest things is, they agreed to get an insurance policy for the motorcyclists, because, they're gonna have jersey barriers on both sides. It's gonna be safe for the public, but not for the guys doing the tricks and that. And, you know, I love motorcycles, and I thought it was a great event. But most people came for the motorcycles, not the burnout. We only had about 10 people, right?
Yeah, we didn't hit that too hard, but we could push that more.
But the whole, the boardwalk was filled with people. You couldn't even, you had to stand behind people. That's how crowded it was. So we had the insurance company, the insurance they addressed, more Alliance people or more volunteers in the community to help with traffic control. We also said we're gonna have to tape both sides where the Jersey barriers end, so people can't just keep wandering across the street. The motorcycle guys just kept doing their thing, and there was like no schedule, so, Artie and Joe agreed that we'll tell the motorcycles they're gonna do it from this time to this time. You know, we'll do like 3 of them, they did like 6 last time. It was really hard to cross the street because they kept doing the things. I mean, they're really good, and it was a really great event, but, I don't know what the insurance policy is gonna cost, but we have to insure really everybody there, not just the riders, anybody that attends as well. You know, somebody could get hit by a motorcycle.
We did. Yeah, we had an insurance last year.
Bob, do you have any?
One concern I had on the one side, on the, east side of the burnout, there were people actually in there pushing on the cars of the guy against the wall. And if a tire would have blew, somebody would have got hurt. So that needs to be, nobody can get on either side of those barriers when they're doing the burnouts. I had to go in there a couple times and chase people away, because they were actually pushing on the cars, because they were against the barriers, and
yeah.
that could really be, a blowout would take somebody's arm or head off, so I think that was my big concern, was nobody near either side of those barriers.
When you guys looking to do this, did you say?
August 24, so we looked at some dates in the community. There's 2 weeks prior, there was something, and 2 weeks after, so there's nothing on that
Yeah,
date.
concerts are 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we made sure of that.
I don't think there's gonna be any damage to the road, but if there is, you guys would have to take care of it.
Yep.
I mean, if you actually put ruts, I've never seen that happen, but it could, especially, you know, and then any of the striping, because they're gonna stripe that when they're done, right, Matt?
Yeah, and it's
So that
not,
would be the Lions Club responsibility to restripe the yellow line down the middle.
Right, which I understand.
And I don't think that would be a long stripe either, because the burnout was only one area, you know, one
Right.
small area.
I've got 280 feet, I can get a barrier for both sides, and last year we had only 180 feet, so I get 100 more feet of barrier on each side, both sides. Full Jersey barriers, the concrete ones, they weigh 4,700 pounds apiece, so.
my concern here isn't, and the volunteer thing is gonna be a problem, because as everyone knows, getting volunteers around here for anything is a pain. concerned on, I would rather have it be a law enforcement presence and do something like we do with the 4th of July where you have to hire the police department to be down there and be part of this event, because, or hire off-duty officers for security or for public safety, because I don't think volunteers controlling traffic down there is the right way to approach this. I don't like the look of that. I don't like this event personally. That's just my opinion on it. I don't like the look of it. We're repaving the road, we're having a burnout. I get it, I get the concept of it. I just don't like, it's not my thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I get it's a nice fundraiser for you guys. I don't like the overall optics of us being part of it or involved in it. That's just me. But if we were to move forward with it, I would like it to be more some type of security presence that is paid, trained security, rather than it being just volunteers down there trying to control people. People who are trained to control people will react differently than volunteers. What happens if there's an altercation? You know, that's just my concerns.
And last year, it was clear the village, this was not a village event.
Yeah.
The village was not having any part of it, it was a Lions Club event.
Yeah, we're just here to make sure you guys understand, hey, here's what we're trying to do, and we're not hiding anything, and
Because it's our road, yeah. I know you
yeah,
guys-
and if it's your concern, you want more security, and we have to go and look into that, hey, that's what it is, what we'll do.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fundraising event for us, so, you know, we'll have to do the budget on it, and if it becomes to the point where it's not feasible for us to do it, because we don't want to just do it to break even, you know, then we have to walk away from it. It's just one of those things, but I understand where Joe's coming from.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was out of town last year when it happened, so I wasn't available to see how the event took place. The idea of separating the burnout pit from the car show is a huge help, because they're totally on the opposite sides of the street. So that's something I think that makes a difference. But we can, you know, whatever you guys recommend, you know, we gotta do what you guys say, one way or another, and we'll look at it, and if it works for us, we'll come back and say we have to go. If it doesn't, then we'll, you know, maybe we'll just do something
And
different.
my plan too, last year, you know, when I was there, you had volunteers, but the volunteers were like running,
They're booking.
all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
And so like, there was a lot of people that were trying to cross the streets and they couldn't, so they were crossing the street, the burnouts were, you know, the guys were doing the wheelies and then people were running, and so I think a little bit chaotic there, but, you know, having the volunteers specifically staying
Finding
at that
people.
spot and be like, okay, I'm crossing the street and that's my only job. The next thing you know, she's running over, you know, and by the tent, and they're getting tickets and they're
Right.
doing that, and so it was kind of.
We got our feet wet last year, we learned a lot.
You learn, live and
Yeah.
learn and move forward.
It was put together pretty quickly last year, probably, certainly quicker than it should have been. We needed more time to prepare. They learned from it, for sure. This year, you know, it's only April, and we're talking August, so we have plenty of time to make sure there's a schedule in place so that we know when an event's gonna happen, traffic is stopped, things of that nature. I think it'll be a lot more, it will be well organized this year versus
Yeah,
last
we
year.
have an entrance sign, you know, to get up on the boardwalk, that's be an area where we funnel people right there, and this is where they're gonna, you know, people are gonna be at, that's where.
But
that's pretty much-
they're all excellent points, and I get it, you know, safety first, by all means.
Well, you guys put a lot together in a short time. I mean, for what you guys did, I thought it was put together well.
So obviously, you know, not looking for an answer tonight, but, you know, let us know when you know, and we'll keep working on it, looking at it, and take it from there.
Yeah, I guess, should we just talk to you, Marcy, about it then, or?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, probably have to take an official vote on it, or,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with it, just like you, Chief and or Matt can stay involved in like the planning process, just so as we get closer to the board or village administrator, or mayor, anybody has questions. And if there's any concerns that come up between now and then with the road or barriers or security, they're there to answer it. And I mean, like I said, anything that brings people to the town and showcases Beecher, I'm good with. Just
And maybe
do it safely.
Consensus?
when you have, yeah, we can take a consensus, and maybe when you have your meeting and kind of figure out that either, no, it's not a go, or yes, we're gonna do it, we can talk again too, and just make sure we have our ducks in a row as to who's in charge of what and who's responsible
Yeah.
for what.
We would be totally transparent with all that, and, because if I'm gonna line up a lot of these people, I don't wanna wait till June to start trying to line these up. You know,
Right.
we need a little time to get all these groups together and, cause these people get booked too, you know. The whole military thing would be a really cool thing. And,
So consensus wise, what are we thinking?
I'm good.
You're okay
Yeah,
with
I
it?
mean, as long as our staff's okay with it and those concerns and issues
And
are
everything
answered.
gets ironed out
Yeah, and
first?
what Joe brought up with security, if that can be ironed out too. I'm good
Yeah.
with it.
Okay, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah, Roger?
I guess
Okay.
everyone else is.
I'd like to meet with them, you know, maybe 3 months out. Talk over the insurance issues, talk over meeting with the head of the motorcycle guy, the head with, if we got somebody that's gonna be heading the car show, have a little meeting and everything, and,
yeah,
and I can tell you about how much an officer would cost too.
that's fine, yeah. We got more Lions members too, we've got more people joining, so there's some enthusiasm this year that we haven't really seen a lot before, well, to this degree, so. We get them all to come in earnest, so.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, guys, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
all right, thank you.
This is, the notes I took from.
Village clerk's report?
Total tax income received in the month of March, $251,713.15.
Alrighty. I have nothing on my report tonight. Village commissions, 4th of July commission, trustee Kraus?
I wasn't there.
There you go. Do you wanna do that?
We
finance,
could.
you wanna do that now?
Yeah, we could do it now. It was under the finance report, but we are not going to be approving the purchase of a car tonight. So there was some miscommunication on some of the bids. There were some things written on the bids where we thought it meant one thing, the dealer meant something different. So when we went back to clarify, the bids weren't gonna work out. So we're rejecting the bids. We didn't have very many this year either. I believe we're gonna repost it tomorrow morning. We'll have it up for 10 days, so it'll be up through a week from Thursday. I spoke to some of the dealers and asked if they just wanna let their bid ride over into the next series. And, you know, some are going to, some are gonna rebid, so however they do it, as long as they get it in before a week from Thursday, then we'll open those bids that night again. We're trying to move along as quickly as possible, and at our next board meeting, we should have a car to approve. All right, so just wanted to apprise you guys of that.
I think the schedule's online, right, for the 4th of July? Is the schedule online yet?
It should be
Yeah.
soon.
Okay,
It's not
so
yet.
that'll be soon,
Yeah,
and
it will
then
be
you
soon.
got a schedule out in the newsletter too, so that's all I have.
Alrighty. We don't have anybody on youth commission at the moment, but,
I can handle
okay.
that board. Since I was at the meeting.
Volunteer.
What? Temporary volunteer.
It all starts.
All right, next meeting is Tuesday, April 16th at 7:30 at Village Hall. Mother Son Dance was held on March 23rd and was well attended. BYC is currently in the planning stages for an upcoming fundraiser. That concludes that report.
Very good. Historic Preservation Commission, trustee Gardner.
Thank you again. All right, our next meeting will be Wednesday, April 17th at 6 p.m. at the Depot. Planning continues for the Day on Dixie. Also, a spring planting day will be scheduled then as well. And that concludes that one.
Alrighty. Finance and Administration Committee, trustee Kraus.
Treasurer's report, Donna?
Okay, so the month-end balance in the village accounts, $8,125,690.65. The March month-end in the commission accounts, $231,373.88. The two combined, $8,357,064.53. The month end in general, $1,362,151.78. The commission non-AP payments for the month of March totaled $455,526.70. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And if no one has any questions, that would end my report.
I'll make a motion approving the treasurer's report.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Gardner,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes. Variance reports are enclosed for your review. I'd like to make a motion approving the list of bills and payroll in the amount of $152,591.78.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Giannetti.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to hold a public hearing on the proposed budget at 7 PM on Monday, April 22nd, 2024.
There is a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call?
Giannetti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes. And that's all I have.
All right, Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee, trustee Giannotti.
Thank you. Would like to consider a motion to approve the construction staking proposal submitted by Beecher Engineering in the amount of $25,325. A copy of the proposal is attached for the review. So I would like to make a motion approving the construction staking proposal submitted by Beecher Engineering in the amount of $25,325.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Giannetti.
Yes. And that will conclude my report. Nice job.
Planning, Building and Zoning Committee, trustee Gardner.
Thank you. Building Department monthly report is enclosed for your review. Update on Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. At the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on March 28th, 2024, a representative from Turning Point Energy gave a presentation to provide information on a proposed commercial solar energy facility to be located south of West Indiana Avenue and east of Southwestern Avenue on approximately 39.9 acres. The Turning Point Energy representative will be attending the village board meeting on April 22nd, 2024 to present the proposal to the village board. And that concludes my report.
All right, Public Safety Committee, trustee Terry.
Thank you, Mayor. Police Department monthly report is enclosed for you guys to review. Chief, anything like that?
I do. Today we had the wires down on Church Road, just west of Dutch American Way. A truck had gone by, knocked all the electric wires down, and then they're on the road. And EMA came out, we called them, and they were there in 10 minutes, uniform and everything, with 3 cars, 3 people, we needed them all. So I want to convey thanks to Bob, who was one of them, of course, and to, it was Laura and Sherry, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, great job to EMA.
As always.
Thank you. The EMA monthly reports are enclosed for your review. Director Heim, anything like that?
No, I'm good.
No, thank you. And then, the code enforcement monthly report is also included. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Public Works Committee, trustee Stacy.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works monthly report is enclosed for everybody. The Water Department's monthly report is also enclosed. And the Sewer Department's monthly report is enclosed for your review. And that concludes my report.
Pretty short and sweet tonight. And Economic Development Community Relations Committee, trustee Giannotti.
Nothing to report.
Is there any old business to come before the board? Any new business to come before the board? Okay, if not, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Adjourned.
There seems to be a motion and a second. Roll call.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gardner.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.